Well, hello and welcome to your November's monthly numerology with me, Jennifer, here at Metaphysical Roundtable. I mean, you know, this is just for people that haven't been here before. Like most of you know me, you know my cats, Mercury and Mouse. Those are the office cats. They're the ones that don't get along with anybody else. I know. We have people like that in our lives, don't we? I mean, all of us. Yeah. So, couple things. Just letting you know, just a couple of housekeeping things here. I have recorded most of the numerology personal life path numbers already. So some of them I forgot to flip the camera until the end, and we're gonna forgive that. Okay, maybe it's just one or two. I don't know. I can't remember because I haven't done the editing yet. But I just want to apologize for the state of my nails. They're a mess. They are a mess. I have been doing a lot of cleaning out because October for me, my personal numerology is change. And I've been cleaning out, I've been cleaning up, and my mother-in-law is coming, and I love her, and I just wanted her to have a comfortable space. Anyway, I've been working outside a lot, to say the least. Also, please forgive the cat hair, because for some reason, I chose to wear black on camera. Why did I do that? I'm surrounded by animals. I have 3 dogs and more cats in the house, so it's kind of crazy. I don't know why I chose to do that, but there we have it. There we are, covered in cat hair, so please forgive that as well. Now that I've begged for forgiveness, I want to do something a little different. I want to tell you the crystal of the month first. All right, before I get into the astrology of like the month of November, because it is very interesting, but I want to talk about this lovely, lovely crystal that we have for November, and that is Rainbow Moonstone. Now, it is not like rainbow fluorite that has like a whole bunch of colors. Rainbow Moonstone is just not coming into focus. Rainbow Moonstone is black and white, and it is glorious. I mean, it's so glorious. I have some on a little pedestal. Oh my gosh. This one's a little rough. It's not tumbled. These are all partially polished. This one is partially polished on the top where the peak is, and then it's rough on the bottom. It's so beautiful. It really is. I love the Rainbow Moonstone. This was introduced to me by a lovely young man at a local metaphysical shop, Heart, Soul, and Art. Love this. This is so awesome. He's a Cancer, so he said that this resonated with him. And I get that because I'm going to tell you the meaning and you're going to understand. I want to show you an example of Moonstone and then the Rainbow Moonstone. There is a bit of a difference. This is more white, and it obviously has like, black in it. And of course, this is just Moonstone, regular Moonstone. Nothing's wrong with regular Moonstone. It has also been a feature on this show. So, I digress. But the Rainbow Moonstone, the reason why I wanted to show you the regular Moonstone is because Rainbow Moonstone is an amplified version of Moonstone. It's all that and more. Yeah. I got the information for Rainbow Moonstone from, of course, as always, the Encyclopedia of Crystals by Judy and a couple other books, but primarily from the sagegoddess.com and the crystalcouncil.com. I've used them before. I like their website. That will be in the description box below. I have been remembering to put that in there. Are you impressed? I mean, I'm impressed with me. What are you going to do? So, Rainbow Moonstone is, it's opening up. It's opening yourself up to cycles. In fact, this stone is called the Cycle of Cycles. And it absolutely rings true because this stone runs with the phases, the cycles of the moon. Moonstone. Who would have thought? But this is it is an amazing energetic stone because it's an energy clearer. It's a physical body clearer. It's just, it eases stress, anxiety, assists with transitions. It's a gateway to the higher self and the divine feminine. Because remember, Cancer, Moon, Moonstone, all divine feminine, right? It's really great. This stone brings in joy, celebration, gratitude. It shows you the possibilities. Okay, it shows you the possibilities, so it's really good for manifesting. If you've got something going on this month that you're trying to get started, and yes, we have Mercury retrograde, but I'm going to go into that. If you're trying to get something started, if you're trying to clear something up, this stone is great for, if you meditate with it, showing you the possibilities of what could happen, what could take place. Okay, it is great for manifesting. It's great for expansion. So all of you that are going into a 7-month, or if you are a life past 7, this is a fantastic one for that expansion, that spiritual expansion, right? It's great for emotional balance, increases intuition. So this might be something that you want to put in your dream jar, beside your bed, or just sit it beside your bed, put it in your pocket, carry it around with you. This is great for spiritual protection, clarity, and creativity to your spiritual path. Now, when I say creativity and clarity, like spiritual protection, all in your spiritual path, is when you are walking on your path. A lot of people want to attack that, right? A lot of people are just like, I don't like that they're doing so good, and I'm in a really crappy place, so let me throw some mud their way. Let me do some destruction. We don't love that here. We don't. But this is the reality. So this stone is great for the crown chakra, and it's great for that wonderful, all-encompassing, bringing clarity, creativity, and spiritual protection while you are walking your path. And especially those of us that are on our path, or maybe just slightly adjacent to our path. Maybe we need some help getting on our path. This is a great crystal for it. I'm in. I love it. I'm just really excited about it. The other reason that I really was like looking at this stone for this month, this crystal for this month, is because it is great with transitions. It's great during transitional times. It's great with helping you during any kind of transitional moment, a transitional time, whatever. The thing is, we are in a transitional year. This is a 9-year in numerology. I may have mentioned that, but it's a transitional time. And we are also transitioning from the 9-year into the 1-year. Like in November, we're going to start feeling that, like, I don't want to say separation, but this is sort of the bridge. All right. November and December, January and February are the bridge into, like, from the old into the new. And this stone is a fantastic transitional stone. It's a great help with our transition from the 9 to the 1. I know. You see where I'm at? This is this is really where I wanted to go with this particular stone. So if you're a life path 9, or if you're in a 9-month, again, this is a fantastic stone for you. So I am going to do a giveaway. I know last giveaway I did was for labradorite. By the way, labradorite, if you pair this stone with labradorite, it is fantastic for manifesting. It's fantastic for really getting what it is that you want out of life. So there's a thought. Labradorite was the stone for September. Yes. Because smoky quartz has been the stone for this month. So labradorite was the stone for September. So if you pair it with labradorite, it's super fantastic. All right. So the last time I ran the giveaway, it was if you made comments. and that I would pull I would pull it at the end of the month on my live show for metaphysical practices, Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to do the same thing this time. We are giving away this lovely girl. I know, I know. And yes, the last winner is allowed to submit. So make sure you comment on your life path. If you comment even on the mid-month check-in ones, I count that. I will put your name in a hat, or more likely just on my table, and I will pull your name from there. Yeah, I did that on the last live show. So the cards, just before I forget, the cards I'm using today are, of course, Moonology Oracle cards and the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck. You know, and you know how I feel about these cards. I love them. The book gives so much information that I read from the book on that. Okay, now, here's a quick little overview of November's astrology. If you want to dive deeper into astrology, I highly, highly encourage it. Okay. There's lots of great astrologers out there. There's many, many out there that are just absolutely wonderful. They're astounding. I mean, I have my favorites. I have the people that I look at all the time, and then I sometimes just Google or go down a YouTube rabbit hole of astrologers and just to see what everybody has to say, because again, just a little bit different, just a little bit of a different take on the same thing that we're all seeing, right? So for me, I mean, Deborah Silverman, Marin Altman, Molly McCord, all of these are people that other people have sent to me, and I've just really resonated with them. If you do not resonate with those people, just look it up on YouTube. See who like fits your bill, you know what I mean? And see how you feel about their take on astrology. So again, this is just a quick overview of the astrology for November. There's a lot of transits going on in November. There's a lot of stuff like moving in and out. There's, Mercury's going retrograde. Yeah, Mercury's going retrograde. Things are moving. There's just there's a lot of movement, all right? And I know that the world never stops. The universe never stops. It is constantly moving. But these transits are pretty significant. I mean, so I just want to say this is a quick overview. I'm going to tell you some of these trines. I'm going to tell you some of the oppositions, and I'm going to tell you that they're going to affect the moon, or they're going to affect the feeling or whatever. I encourage you to look it up, because until I have an astrology show on here on this channel again, like I used to, I don't want to go into detail with numerology. I just want to give you the overview. And yes, I am thinking of separating the astrology altogether from the intro, but real quick, we're going to get through this. Okay? Yay. Okay. So on November 1st, we have All Saints Day, and there's no transits that day. Merry Christmas. Well, not really. On November 2nd, in the United States and maybe in other parts of the world, not all of the United States though, we have daylight savings time that hits us. Kind of looking forward to that, but that's a different story. We have Venus square Jupiter. This is a good kind of square, okay? Usually squares, I'm just like, oh, that's challenging, because it usually is, but Venus square Jupiter is a good square, okay? Mars trying Neptune on November 3rd. Fun. On the 4th, Mars is moving into Sagittarius. So Mars is moving from a sign that it loves. It loves being in Scorpio. Yay. It loves being in Scorpio, and now Mars is moving to Sagittarius, which is a little more flighty, let's say, spontaneous. Yes. A little more unpredictable. So that's interesting. Okay. Mars is also opposing Uranus, which is still in Gemini. Keep that in mind, because that's a doozy right there. That Mars opposing Uranus is a big deal. It is actually going to affect the full moon, which is on the 5th of November. Full moon in Taurus that hits its peak at 8:19 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that Mars opposition of Uranus is going to have an effect on this usually quiet and steady and stable full moon. Yeah. Isn't that fun? On the 6th of November, we have Venus moving into Scorpio. Venus is also moving from its home because Venus rules Taurus and Libra. Venus is moving from Libra into Scorpio. It's not its favorite place because it's in opposition of Taurus and it rules Taurus. So little iffy for Venus. Not the worst place for Venus because Venus does not like being in Virgo. You know, your girl's not happy in Virgo, and I get it. But Venus in Scorpio is a little dark for Venus. Let's say that. Yeah. Almost lost my place. Okay, on the 7th, we have Uranus retrograding back into Taurus. So for the last few months, we've had an idea, we've had a little preview of what Uranus in Gemini is going to be like for the next 7 years. Uranus is not going to return to Gemini until the spring of 2026. I can't remember if it's March or April, but Uranus returns to Gemini at that time and will be there for the full ride after that, 7 years. Uranus in Gemini is a very open time. It's great for inventors. It's great for new ways of thinking, new technology. So that is awesome. We love that. Now we move to the 9th where we have Mercury retrograde. Mercury is retrograding in Sagittarius. And this is something I get asked all the time. Like, I don't want to start something new. I don't want to, I can't sign any contracts. I can't do any of this during Mercury retrograde. And I agree. I am double ruled by Mercury. I try not to start new stuff during Mercury retrograde because I get hit by it pretty hard. But I try not to sign contracts during that time. However, there's another man that I follow here on YouTube. He has Minnow Pond Tarot, and his name is Chris. And he says, and I really like this take on it. He's like, you can't stop your life because Mercury has gone retrograde. You cannot stop anything from happening. If you need to start something new, if you need to sign contracts, just be careful about it. Just pay attention to the details because this is what Mercury is all about. So, I mean, communication, details, electronics, but please make sure you back up your computer, back up your phone, back up your systems, and read thoroughly any contracts that you have to sign. If you have to start something new now, that's okay. Just take note that you're probably going to have to come back and rework some kinks in the system. And if you have started something new, like in the past, this is a good time to work out some of the kinks in those systems, okay? Whether it's a relationship, a job, a business, whatever it is that you're doing, this is a good time to work out the kinks, to redo some things, to revisit. Excellent time for that. I mean, really, it is. So Mercury retrograde doesn't have to be a Debbie Downer. Yeah. On the 11th, we have Jupiter going retrograde in Cancer. On the 12th, we have Mars conjunct Mercury in Sagittarius. This is not a good conjunction. It's really not. It's kind of over the top. Yeah. I just want to say it's a little unpleasant, okay? Mars, God of War, colliding, conjunct, Mercury, the planet of communication. It can be a challenging time for communication, okay? Just be aware of that. Then we have on the 18th, we have Mercury retrograding back into Scorpio. Not unhappy about that. On the 19th, we have Mercury opposing Uranus and Taurus. Now, here's the thing. Mercury opposing Uranus really can throw a wrench in our communication, and all these oppositions that we're feeling, all these conjunctions that we're feeling that are not of the happiest nature can cause us to have some really bad communications during this Mercury retrograde, and it can cause us to be a little bit paranoid about the communications that we're having. So you don't need to add dialogue where there is none. You do need to be clear and concise during this time. Please, for the love of all that is holy. Yeah. All right. We also have Mercury trine Neptune, which is a positive thing. It is. I mean, because Neptune is our dreamy, our dreamy state. We love that. But Mercury trine Neptune at the same time that Mercury is opposing Uranus could bring in some, I don't want to say like delusional, but we could have some illusions about the Mercury opposing Uranus. And remember, we just got over the Mercury conjunction with Mars. Things can be a little heated right now. Okay, let's don't invite the illusions in. Let's be nice. Yeah. On the 19th or the 20th, depending on your time zone here, okay? I'm going to go with the 20th because I am on the East Coast. But the new moon in Scorpio hits its peak at 1:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 20th. If you were on the West Coast, it is going to be on the 19th, okay? The new moon in Scorpio is going to happen on the 19th. We also have on the 21st, the sun moving into Sagittarius. Ha! Happy birthday, Sagittarians. On the 22nd, we have the first of two really positive trines. We have Mercury trine Saturn and Jupiter. Mercury is in Scorpio, Saturn is in Pisces, and Jupiter, of course, is in Cancer. This is a very positive trine. We love it. It really could bring us out of the depths of this miscommunication that we've been having with this Mercury retrograde and all of its little like conjunctions and oppositions. This could bring in a fresh breath of air. That's all I'm saying. On the 24th, we have Mercury conjunct Venus. Again, this could be a little bit of fresh air coming in. Yeah. And communicating with those that we love. Yeah. On the 26th, we have our second very positive trine of Venus in Scorpio, Jupiter in Cancer, and Saturn in Pisces. These are fantastic, and this trine is going to last just a smidge longer because Saturn goes direct the next day on the 27th of November, which is Thanksgiving. Here in the US, sorry, there's Thanksgiving in other countries and it's not the same day. That's Thanksgiving here in the US. On the 29th, we have Mercury going direct in Scorpio. We also have Venus opposing Uranus. That's, again, just go dive deep in that rabbit hole. It can be good. It can. It's not as bad as some, but on the 30th, we have Venus moving into Sagittarius, so out of its dark time, yeah, and into Sagittarius. Venus is also trine Neptune, which is in Pisces. So this is a very good time. This is a lot of stuff happening in November. I think that it's going to be a wonderful transitional month. We have a lot of planets that are hopping around in and out of retrograde. Of course, the universe is never stagnant. I said that before, but there's a lot of stuff that I feel like is important happening in November. It's a good lead in to our transition from this 9-year into the 1 year. So really looking forward to November. We end the month with Uranus retrograde in Taurus, Jupiter retrograde in Cancer, South Node in Virgo, Mercury in Scorpio, Sagittarius is hosting Venus, Mars, and the Sun. Pluto is still in Aquarius for the foreseeable future. Pisces has Neptune retrograde, Saturn direct, and of course, North Node. So that wraps us up with 3 planets in retrograde at the end of November, 4 in water plus North Node, 2 in fire plus the Sun, 1 in earth plus south node, and 1 in air. Yes. All right, so that brings us to the end of November, and I really am excited to like get through this transitional time, but I'm very happy that we're getting Mercury retrograde over with before we hit Christmas and Hanukkah and New Year's. Yes. All right, let's stay tuned for your individual numerology. And remember, November and December, you're going to see those repeating numbers in January and February with just a slight twist on it because we'll be in a 1 year in 2026 versus the 9 year that we're in right now. All right, let's see what we got for you. Hello, Life Path 9. Well, November for you could have some fun moments. Okay, let me tell you why. You had an 11-2 month in November. That means that you are feeling the vibration of both the 11 and the 2. But to be fair, the 11 carries the foundation of the 2. So it's not like it's vastly different, but it has some, 11 is like a 2 but on steroids. So it's bigger. All right. So you're going to be feeling both of those this month. And this could be interesting because of the placements of Venus, because Venus is going to be in Scorpio for like most of the month. And honestly, some of her transits, some interesting stuff going on. Okay. Then we also have Mercury retrograde, which is also taking place most of the month. So there's some interesting things, let's say, that are happening. Now, the vibration of the 2 is all about harmony, love, diplomacy, couples, balance. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's relationships, no matter what kind of relationships. And like family, romantic, business, partnerships, like friends in general. So this could even be like a book club, a community, work groups, or, college friends, whatever. We all have those kinds of groups that we hang out with separately, usually not together. But it really is, this is a time, this vibration is all about cooperation. It's all about unity. Harmony. I'm going to keep saying that word when I'm talking about the 2 because that's exactly what's going on. Because the 2 wants everyone to feel comfortable. They're like, we want everybody to feel good. We want everybody to feel like they belong 100%. Because the 2 vibration is about making soul connections for yourself, for others, for my cat. I mean, it's like that Mercury's retrograde. What's going on? Anyway, the 2 vibration is a time of learning to maintain individuality while also learning to be a part of a group. So that's pretty important because that's part of their shadow side as well. This is definitely a vibration of the law of attraction. So if you're doing law of attraction work, this is a great time to do it, Life Path 9. It really is, especially as we are coming to a close on your year. Yeah. And I mean, sometimes it's good to do this sort of at the end of the year and just assess like what's been going on all year and attract in what you really have been looking for, what you really been wanting. Especially on the precipice of a 1 year in numerology, because that's a Genesis year. Yeah. So anyway, back to the 2. The 2 vibration looks at both sides, wants to see both sides of the situation, see that there's balance. Again, it's a very diplomatic vibration. The mantra of the 2 is with an open heart, I joyously receive and give infinite love. I don't know what's going on with these cats. It's very distracting. With an open heart, I joyously receive and give infinite love. Offer infinite love. We love that. We do. Leading into the shadow side of the 2 is the lesson. The lesson of the 2 is how do we cooperate, love, connect, and open our hearts without losing ourselves. And that is precisely what happens when we're immersed in the vibration of the 2. It especially happens when we're in an 11-2 year. Yeah, because when we're in an 11-2 year, a lot of times we avoid conflict at the cost of like the good of others, or at the cost of the good of the situation. We avoid conflict in a bad way. Sometimes conflict is necessary so that we can work things out, right? But in this 11-2 vibration, what happens is we start sacrificing ourselves when becoming a part of a union of any kind, or a group, or a couple, a unit, whatever. We start sacrificing ourselves for the good of the group, for the good of the unit, for the good of the union, for the good of the friendship. That's not healthy. It's not a good way. What that does is it leads us to become martyrs. It leads us into that victim mentality, and that is not a place where we need to camp out. It's not. It's bad, because then that vibration starts hiding its feelings. It starts becoming indecisive and overly sensitive. It's a bad cycle. It really is. So when we look at the vibration of the 11, which is again the 2, but bigger, but more, the mantra of the 11 is, I am divine inspiration, making a difference in the world today. Definitely, because this is a master visionary. The 11 is a master visionary. They have high expectations. They are all about intuition, illumination, inspiration, invention, because again, they're a master visionary. This is a time of enlightenment. This vibration is very much a time of enlightenment, powerful creativity. I mean, this really is a very creative moment. It's a creative opportunity, because the creativity is going to help to convert dreams into reality. Yeah, that's pretty good for somebody who likes rebirth, for somebody who is all about completion and transition and releasing. And so really, sorry, my phone. I mean, I did all my readings this morning, and the phone's not stopped. I'm not that popular. People just have questions. So again, this is a great time to accept divine inspiration. And really, this is a bridge between the conscious and the unconscious. Now, the thing is, I think you are a good bridge to Life Path 9. I do. I think that you are really good at like helping like people transition so that they can have a new beginning, because that's who you are. And I feel like this is going to be a solid month for you. It is. And even with Venus in Scorpio and Mercury retrograde and all the stuff that's happening, I think that this is going to be a really good time for you, because you're going to have this vibration again in January, in that 1 year, in that vibration of the like new beginning. So this is helping you wrap up some loose ends with some of these relationships. Yeah. With some of the like the visions or the inspirations that you're having, that you're getting in. This is going to help you to like really lay a good foundation, a good groundwork, so that when you do come into January, you're going to be ready to just go to town. Love it. Sorry. The lesson of the 9 is to embrace humility and altruism and the willingness to convert fantasy into action. This is very important, and I think this has to do with a lot of transition. And again, you are good at that. You are good at completing that cycle. So converting something fantasy into action, dreams into reality, I think that this is going to be right up your alley. I really do. Even with Mercury retrograde and Venus in Scorpio. So the shadow side of the 11 is really second guessing themselves, becoming too sensitive, being impractical, like trying to like interacting with other people publicly can sometimes be a problem for a life path 11. Ignoring their spiritual gifts to the point where it causes physical problems like persistent headaches, migraines, kidney stones, gallstones, autoimmune disorders. It's a lot that can happen with that vibration of the 11. You're only going to be in it for a month and then again in January, but don't camp out in that. Don't ignore your spiritual gifts. Embrace them. You will thank me later. But I do love that this month is the way it's coming in for you. I think the biggest thing that is going to hit home is that Venus and Scorpio energy. It's not harsh, but it is going to be challenging because with the vibration of the two, it is all about relationships. It's all about love and harmony. And if Venus is nothing else, that girl is a romantic, she loves love. She also loves something shiny, so it affects our money too, but you're in an 11-2 month, so it's going to affect the relationship center more. Ooh, I know. Ooh, Imania. A golden opportunity. Oh, this is awesome. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. Oh, yes. Yes. These opportunities. Love that for you. I think that 2 energy really just wants to, it's like that, the Queen of Cups, it's personal happiness, it's love, it's all of that. That's what the 2 energy reminds me of. And I think that's why I see that it's so tied to Venus. Not as much as the 11. I mean, not the 11 as much as the 2, but there's a lot tied to Venus here, Life Path 9. So keep that in mind, okay? Oh, a win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. And guess who rules Libra? That would be Venus. I can't get this because I'm backwards. A win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. And Libra is all about balance. I wish my cat would get that memo. Yes, I see you, baby. Don't knock my glasses down again. It's been that kind of day. The full moon in Libra, the sign of partnership, of falling in love and closely relating to someone else. Oh my gosh. Venus, 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 Life Path 2. I mean, not Life Path 2. Vibration of the 2 energy. Your Life Path 9. I'm in it. Since full moons are about climaxes and conclusions, that's you, by the way. This card suggests that either you're about to start a new relationship or that an important existing relationship is changing somehow. You roll with the changes, so this works. Perhaps coming to an end or moving to a new level of commitment. It's important to remember that people come to us for a reason and sometimes just for a season. If a relationship is ending now, it's doing so at the right time, so try not to fight it. This card can also refer to a professional relationship. There's a sense that you need to balance there is a sense that you need to balance your ego with someone else's needs. A win-win outcome is possible with give and take. Doing so might be the answer to your question. You know that 2 vibration is all about cooperation. It wants everyone to feel comfortable. A win-win outcome is possible with give and take. Doing so might be the answer to your question. Let go of that which is falling away. See the other person through the eyes of love. It will change your perspective. There's an opportunity here, Life Path 9. There really is. Hold on. Just be yourself. This can be a fantastic month for you. Thank you so much for joining me today, Life Path 9. Don't forget to leave a comment on this video or the mid-month numerology check-in for November to get registered to win or to get entered to win the Rainbow Moonstone for November. Thank you for joining me again. I hope you have a great and awesome November. And until we see each other next time, get out there and make your magic. Bye.